Hey guys, I'm here with Revitalization Blueprint client Rick Barker, and my program is actually based online, but we're here in Nashville face to face.
Finally.
So, yeah, finally. So I want to go through a couple of questions just to speak to you with.
First off, let me say this though. Thanks, because everyone in my office now is speaking with like this fake English and British accent.
This is real.
Well, I know yours is real, but it's like one of the things my wife said immediately, because you're also staying at the house, and she's like, don't think I'm making fun of you, but sometimes accents just kind of, but why aren't you speaking in like a Southern accent since you're here in Nashville and everybody else is speaking with these fake Southern British accents?
I think because I'm just used to hearing American accents from my clients being over here.
Okay.
And I love America, so
Awesome.
you know,
Awesome.
I'd rather be
Well,
American
America
than
loves
British.
you too. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't say that, dude. The
Oh
Queen
yeah,
will,
this
like,
is going on
kick your ass
Facebook.
right out of the country.
She's busy arranging marriages and stuff like that. So with Americans, is she American or is she? Yeah, she's American.
Her show was filmed in Canada. Suits, which it's one of my favorite
Is that not
shows
filmed in
too.
New York?
No, Toronto makes for New York in the film industry.
Ah.
You didn't realize that? And there's parts of Vancouver, Canada that look like India. I don't know how, but the Canadians are getting a lot of money.
I was disappointed going in New York, standing outside the friend's apartment building and found out it's shot in LA.
Yes.
It's like
It's called a set.
letdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called a set.
Anyway,
Now back
talking
to our
about
regularly
being
scheduled program
across the
already in
pond
progress.
and
Yes.
being here.
Yes.
I'm based in the UK, but all my clients and my program is online. You'd seen different testimonials of people that you know and trust. Why me? Why did you come to me for your health and fitness?
You know, I think that there comes a time when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if that makes any sense. And I have tried everything. I mean, I was, fortunately, I've now been sober a little over 25 years. But back in the 80s, I did some crazy stuff to my body. I was addicted to crack cocaine. I got down as low as 108 pounds. Then later on, being a knucklehead, I used to weigh and consistently weigh about 175, 180 pounds.
Yep.
And then about 20 years ago, I went to jail. And I came out of jail about 60 pounds heavier. Gained about 60 pounds in 4 months, quit smoking, replaced everything with all this bad food. And then my mindset just kind of, then being on the radio and being the fat DJ, they would always give me the magic pill or the magic formula that I would tell everybody how much weight I'd lost so fast. And I was just putting so much crap into my body. And then mentally, I just decided that I'm just a heavy guy. You know, I started blaming my metabolism. I started blaming the fact that I had done drugs. And when I saw the results that Eddie's was getting, I was kind of in that place. It was towards the last part of the year. I had been shooting videos for my programs. And there was one where I was sitting down in a chair and I looked like I ate a third grader, man. I mean, it was just, there was no Photoshop, Randon, my videographer, there was nothing he could do. I was just fat, you know, and no matter how much you strategically move or this, and I just sat there and I was like, crap, you know, it's like I need to do something. So I went and I watched one of your videos. And what I loved about your videos, and I say this respectfully, is they weren't polished.
Yeah.
You were in your room. There was a turntable in the background, there was pictures, there was books, and the lighting wasn't perfect, and it was just you talking. And it was you, and I just felt this honesty and this sincerity that said, you know what, this is at least worth a call.
Yeah.
So that's when I reached out to you, and then we started having our conversations.
Yeah, I think it was literally, you said you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. 2 hours later, you were signed up. Like, proper action taker.
Well, but I've done that before. Now,
You've stuck to it this time.
Let's not be fooled, though.
Yeah,
I've
true.
spent a fortune, you know, on quick fixes, you know, and I've always, I went in. I think what's allowed me to keep going with this, though, and to stick with it, and at the taping of this video, I've been able to maintain almost 12 pounds of scale weight off over about a 30-day period of time, and that was during the holidays. So we're filming this right now in January.
Yep.
And during the holidays, I was able to lose. Some weeks I would maintain. But what you did was the questions that you asked is you said, hey, how much have you worked out in the last week? I said, I haven't worked out at all. You're like, great. Can you give me 10 minutes tomorrow? I said, okay, so you're not going to give me a 45-minute, 6 days a week. You go, no, can you give me 10 minutes tomorrow? By the way, it's 10 minutes more than you did the week before. And I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. And then it went from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I went and I tried Orange Theory. and absolutely fell in love with Orange Theory. But the problem with doing that kind of exercise and burning those kind of calories is if I'm not fueling myself properly. So the difference with you is that I had an accountability partner, is that I could just go on WhatsApp and say, okay, here's how I'm feeling. I experimented with it. We tried it at 8 o'clock in the morning before I went to work, and then I was spent. So I'm just like, shit, I just lost 3 hours, off of a 55-minute workout. So we tried the different times. We tried what to eat before the workout, what to eat after the workout. And now I get so excited about going. And you've gone with me this week.
Yep.
It will beat the crap out of you.
I died yesterday until you realized the heart rate more now.
Yeah, but what it is that it's like when I get done, I feel so excited about it because I'm seeing results, And the other thing that was important was a lot of times I've tried things where, my wife will laugh because I'll eat the same exact thing for 3 meals because that's the plan.
Yep.
And it gets real boring. And you were like, look, tell me the food you like. Tell me what you don't like. Let's add them in. Let's take them out. If you need a cookie, don't fret. Eat the damn cookie.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is that I don't want to call them cheat days because I think that you're doing something wrong as if you're cheating.
Yeah.
It's not wrong to crave things. It's not wrong to want a dessert. I just choose on those days to have it is on the days that I also worked out. So a non-workout day is not a dessert day for me, or here's a handful of M&Ms day for me.
Exactly, and I think we also looked at the stress levels because you'd been at ridiculously high levels of stress because of your history with Taylor Swift and
Sure.
Was it 300 pounds you said you were?
When I left Taylor, I was at about 300, and when I got married in 2000, I was 289 pounds.
Wow.
So I had done something crazy as where on my 10-year anniversary, I wanted to give my wife a boyfriend. So my goal was to be 100 pounds lighter.
Yep.
And it was P90X, 600 calorie a day diet, B12 shot in the ass, or arse, however you guys say it.
In the arse.
Arse. And I got to about 192, but I was skinny fat. I was unhealthy. I looked good, but I was deathly ill. Yeah, I didn't. And one of the things that you noticed when you were asking me questions is you asked me about my schedule and what I do. And I said, well, here's how I like to wind down at night. As I said, about 9 o'clock, I'll go out, I'll fire up a cigar, I'll answer emails, I'll watch TV. And you're like, how are you sleeping? I said, well, I'm not really sleeping all that good. You're like, yeah, because all that freaking stimulus. You call that a wind down. That's actually winding you up.
A lot of people do it.
Yeah, and then you had me shut off electronics about 9 o'clock. By the way, it was harder to quit crack cocaine than it was to quit Facebook. Yeah.
But it wasn't electronics in full. It was, okay, you're going to record some videos.
Sure,
so let's
lower
switch
your
off social
screen,
media.
yeah.
And it was one step at a time, as I say.
But see, no one that I had ever talked with about my health ever asked those other questions. I think that's another reason why I've been able to stick with it, is because if I have questions, I ask questions. And if you see something, you ask questions. Yep. A lot of people just like, here's your plan. And then if I called up a buddy of mine and it would be the same exact plan, or if I called up another, you customized it to me.
Even when you're traveling as well.
Yeah, well, I had to because I travel a lot.
Yeah.
You would go ahead and look at menus and you would look at things, and it just really got me thinking, and we found out that, I just wasn't getting enough vegetables. So Athletic Greens, I get them another way. I don't like to snack, as you've seen by being around me, even though you're allotting me this.
Yep.
So you're making me eat bigger
Actually
meals
make me
now.
Eat more in your portion sizes.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to make sure as well that, as we said, we didn't overwhelm.
Nope.
It's just one small step at a time. And where I've got my name for working with entrepreneurs, really busy business guys, it is from taking every single person as an individual. So on that note, if someone's looking to sign up for one-to-one, sign up for group, what would you say to them?
I would say at least get on the phone and have a conversation. I say we, but I tend to try to talk the people who I pay to train me into doing things my way.
Yep.
And you haven't allowed that to happen. And I warned you about that in the beginning. Sometimes I think we know too much. Yep. So it's like, oh, well, I'll do this, this, and this. And then I'm like, wait a minute. As a person who's also a coach, but in the music space, why am I paying you for me to tell you how I should be doing things? So now I have just learned to shut up. So I would say at least have a conversation, at least fill out the questionnaire, and try it for a month. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But it's worked for me. And I think the reason why it's worked for me is because it was customized for me. It wasn't too overpriced. You know, it fit right into what it is that I was doing. A lot of what I was wasting money on, as I sat down and I looked at it, it's like, wow, I'm now able to apply it towards something good for me.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of times people will say, well, I can't afford that. For me, if I want to be the father to my teenage kids, the husband to my wife, I couldn't afford not to.
Yep.
So I would
You've
at
got
least
a certain amount of days on it.
take a look, take a listen. I absolutely love what's been happening for me. I'm excited because for years I've lost the weight and it's always found itself back. So for me, it was just basically listening to what it is that he had to say. It was listening, letting him ask the questions. I didn't go into it with the mindset of, oh my gosh, this is another expense. I looked at it, it's an asset.
Yeah, it brings to you. It adds value.
It does. And I had one of my clients' moms say, she says, Rick, she says, you're such a powerful speaker. She says, can you imagine when you can go on stage and you're fit and you're firm? She goes, you are going to absolutely rock the world and change the world. And I remember that.
Yeah. So it's not just been physical changes.
No,
There's
it's
been the
everything.
mental changes, the focus, the energy.
Yeah.
So if you are ready to even just have a chat, just drop me a message and we can get something arranged. Rick,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Take care.